Today, let's talk about portfolios because I know this is one thing that will cost you a client if you're not really careful, if you're not intentional, if you're not putting effort in having a portfolio that sells your services, because this is the pitch that you carry, leave alone the pitch that you send via email or DM. This is what clients interact with as a representation of who you are, how your work is, who you are as a VA, what you've done, your experience, your business. A portfolio carries a lot, and you really need to make sure that you have, even if it's not the best, you have a good portfolio. I'll point out the mistakes that I've seen that you want to avoid when creating your virtual assistant portfolio. First things first is having different fonts in different pages. You don't want to look as if you're a digital garage sale. It's like you're selling fonts. Yeah, have the same font consistently from the first page to the last page. This shows organization. This gives a clear, like even the message that you have in your portfolio is able to be delivered clearly because there's that alignment, there's that flow of how your portfolio looks like. Otherwise, when you're using different fonts, too many fonts, different pages, it becomes so busy, it becomes chaotic. Someone might even just get tired looking at it when they go to the third page because you're using another different font. Again, when it comes to fonts, make sure you're using these normal fonts. Do not go for the fancy fonts because sometimes you consider some people will have eye problems. Your potential clients might be having an eye problem. You don't want to strain them. So just use the normal fonts. Just want you to make sure that you're representing yourself well. Okay. The other thing is the colors that you use. I know we all have our favorite colors, and not all colors represent a portfolio well, especially for a virtual assistant, because you're a profession. You're not just any service provider, you're a profession. So preferably use neutral colors, the nudes, the white, the black, the gray, the browns, the beige. These colors show professionalism. So yeah, when considering the colors you use for your portfolio, make sure they look professional. Do not go for your favorite color just because you love that color. The other thing I've seen with the portfolios is some have typos. Guys, you can't claim that you're a detail-oriented. Kwanza umeandika hapo ukijidescribe, I'm a detail-oriented virtual assistant. But when someone goes to your portfolio, they can see typos you've made in that portfolio. Because this is how you're representing yourself and your work. A client will feel like if they can have errors in their portfolio, then that means this is what is going to translate when I delegate them some work. And then that will make them avoid you. Something as simple as that. Let me tell you, and it's not being petty, some clients are really detail-oriented. And they spot that, So just make sure you're going through your portfolio word by word, page by page, making sure that there are no errors and that you've been able to represent yourself well. The other thing that I want to talk about is how you showcase your work or your sample works on your portfolio. First things first, you'll find someone who has a portfolio. Maybe they want to share lead generation sample work that they have done. And the lead generation, since they have done different lead generation, like they have different documents that they want to showcase that they have done when doing lead generation, they want to have 5 different pages. Page 1, lead generation, they have that document there. Page 2, lead generation, they have another document there. Instead of that, the important tip that I want to share with you guys of how you're going to stay organized, even when sharing these sample works, even when applying to jobs, not only on your portfolio, make sure you open a Google Drive folder and name it your name. Have your projects there, create different subfolders with different categories. Now, this is how you're going to organize your sample works in this folder that you just created on Google Drive. Create subfolders for each specific work in terms of category. For example, lead generation. If you have different sample works that you've done, you have different documents that you worked on when doing lead generation, maybe for different clients or for different clients. What you do is create a lead generation folder, and then inside that folder, you're going to upload all the documents under lead generation. So when you go to your portfolio, you have the lead generation page where you're sharing your sample work. You can be able to share it as a link, one link, but your client will be able to see different kind of work that you've done under lead generation. And you can just have now an image or a screenshot representation of the work, but have it as a link. That shows that you're really organized and you're not making your portfolio too long that the client will never get to like the last page, because now it's becoming boring. The other thing, when you're showcasing your work, many people, especially if you're just starting out, you want to showcase your work as screenshots. There's no proof of work. Let me tell you, anyone can go to Google, look for a screenshot, and claim that they did that work. They just screenshot it. And clients know this. So when you have specific documents you've worked on, and you link them on your portfolio, this is able to tell your client this is someone who has worked on this specific thing, and they view you as someone who is experienced, someone who has the skill, and someone who will come in and do that specific work because they have done it, and we can see the proof they have done it. Because having a screenshot is nice for presentation, but again, it does not stamp that you've done that specific work. Last but not least, something that I've noted when people are creating the portfolios, I think they don't know the difference between a portfolio and a resume. You find information that will be in your resume, you're adding it on your portfolio. A portfolio is a representation of work you've done and the skills that you have and your business, the services that you're offering. You find someone has listed the companies they've worked with in terms of experience, the companies they've worked with. Some will even mention they sold popcorns in high school. Anyway, I don't know, but I'm just assuming you might find that one person who will have irrelevant experience even on their resume, or even worse, on their portfolio. So portfolio, we don't really highlight in terms of experience, because what showcases your experience is the work that you are presenting, the work that you've done. That shows your experience, that shows your skills. So you don't really need to have like an experience page of companies you've worked with. Not really. You can omit that. Yeah, so once you do away with those things that I've mentioned, you'll have a clear portfolio that is able to convert, a clear portfolio that is able to sell your services to clients, one that is able to represent who you are, what you've done, your skills. It will be able to highlight your experience, your expertise, and that is the main goal. The main goal is not having the most beautiful portfolio and it's not selling.